What's good, y'all? Elvis here, back in with another episode of Better Barbering. For my new people, Better Barbering is a series that I started where I share tips and tricks that made me a better barber. The other people used to make them better barbers, and I did better people. So lately, your boy has been dumb burnt out. This is something I've always kind of struggled with because I'm a real, like, nose to the ground, grind that shit out ass kind of person. But lately I've been realizing it's like, even though I'm in a new stage where, let's say, the things that require my energy investment are different, I still have the same habit of burning out. And I realize it's really just I grind till the tank is empty and I pour just enough gas in to get me to where I need to go, and then I'm burnt out again. So lately I've been taking more time to like mindfully rest and be social with my people, watching my shows, dancing in the mirror, vibing. The stuff that really recharges me. That's been helping, and I'm realizing I have to find a new balance. But burning out is so dangerous with being a barber, because it's one thing when you burn out on a job that you didn't pick. Okay, well, you do what you need to recharge, and then you'll go back and grind through it again. This was not something you wanted from the jump. But when it's your own career that you specifically built up from the ground to look a very specific way to fit into your lifestyle, and then you burn out, you get into a headspace of like, actually, how much do I even like my job? It takes away your satisfaction and fulfillment of the main aspect of your everyday life. So it's really important to put boundaries, energetic or otherwise, in place so you're not burnt out. Okay, so I grew up really poor. So there was a point where money was my biggest limiting factor. If I didn't have money, I couldn't do what I wanted to do. But then, I got my money together, I grinded, made shit happen, and then I got more leverage of my time. So then my time became my own. And I'm like, oh, that's smooth. I don't gotta worry about money the same anymore. But now, since the time is my own, I'm spending my time all the time, just however I feel like it. And then at the end of the day, when I realized, okay, I'm spending all my time, but I don't have energy to do everything I want to do, I realized energy was really the limiting factor. How I spend my energy affects my perception of time. How I spend my time affects my perception of money. Depending on how I spend my energy, time and money, debatably not relevant. So I realized in this new stage, of course, I still have bills and like schedules, so I deal with time and money, but I realized at the heart of it, it's all about how I manage my energy. And that comes down to just like the little ways I spend energy throughout the day. Let's say texting people. Like last year, I gave up texting people. I mean, I do a few texts here and there, small, quick communication or whatever, but I don't have real texting conversations because that's not how I spend my energy. It's not time efficient for communicating. It's not efficient for getting your real meaning across if it's more than just information. There's so much room for miscommunication. If you get on the phone, say it real quick, send a voice message, send it real quick, it's understood. So I don't text. And I realized since I don't text, that saves so much time and energy through the day. Just like little text here, little conversation here, you lose so much time and energy through transition, jumping around doing little things versus sitting down and just focusing all your energy in one thing and then picking up, doing the same thing again over here. Even if it's 2 or 3 things, every time you transition, there's energy and momentum being lost. And I've realized not texting has made my quality of life a lot higher. A similar thing with online booking. I used to have to communicate with everybody who wanted a haircut. If I got 50 people on my schedule, that means those are 50 different conversations that I had with people to book appointments every week. And personally, I think it's a waste of my energy, because if we wanted to talk, you could talk in the chair. Ultimately, energy cannot be created or destroyed. We have a finite amount of energy, and how we spend it affects everything else in life. Over the years, how I spend my energy affects how I spend my energy going forward in the future. Like, because I spend so much time and energy going to the gym and spending my energy in that way, it builds that habit. And I realize every habit I build gets more and more efficient with energy. When I first started cutting hair, to do a fade took me 2.5 hours. You know what I'm saying? It took me forever to get that shit done. It's because I wasn't efficient with my energy. Now, in the same time as I did that one haircut, I can get at least like somewhere between 4 to 6 full quality haircuts in that time. Because the way I spend my energy then influenced the way I spend my energy now. The same goes for working out. The same goes for every skill that you build. I mean, if you're a driving age, the first time you ever drove a car took a lot more energy than it does to drive around the corner now. How we spend our energy is what builds our habits. The habits build up the lifestyle. So how we spend our energy influences our lifestyle directly. And I realized I was making a habit out of burning myself out because of how I was spending my energy. The other reason I was, and probably will continue to be burnt out for a little bit, is because I wasn't managing my energy in a sustainable way. That stuff happens when you spending energy in places where you're not getting energy back. Let's say less than beneficial relationships. If people are doing anything to make you resent them, that takes energy every interaction you have with them. Dealing with people at work that you don't like on some little petty shit, every time you interact with them, it chips a little bit away at the energy you have for that day. Most people don't realize how low the tank is until they crash. Or if you don't crash, you spaz out because you couldn't have enough energy to hold back whatever irrational response. So I realized it benefits me way more on the front end to manage my energy expenditure, you know what I'm saying? And like when I get down to like, let's say 50%, oh, now I know, 50%, I only got, maybe 40% left. Don't try to commit 70 to this person over here just because that's the homie. Because when my battery's empty, when I'm burnt out, I can't help nobody. Can't even help myself. From your own perspective as a barber, your quality is gonna get way worse the more burnt out you are. Clients might not be able to tell, but when I'm burnt out and I'm cutting hair, I cut a lot slower. I don't think my attention to detail slip, but it's not as tight and on point. I might forget a little bit of hair like on the base of the neck or under the chin or something if I'm just tired or burnt out and not paying attention. For a lot of people, that's not that big of a deal. But it just goes to show you that it takes away from your quality, your competence, your capability when you're burnt out and you're not in your optimal form for real. But if you think I'm spitting this video, go ahead and like and share it with somebody you think could use it. If you haven't already, go ahead and follow me on Instagram at Cuts by Elvis as well as Better Barbering. But I appreciate y'all again. Till next time, craft over clout. I'm out.